If you hear the name Russell Simmons, and you probably first think about music and fashion, and rightfully so, he has built a $500 million music and fashion empire over the last couple of decades. But beyond his business endeavors, Russell has also played a major role in minority business development since the early 1980s, and his philanthropic efforts include bringing arts education to inner city kids and raising education awareness in African nations. One of his latest ventures is partnering with Walmart to produce the Get Your Money Right National Hip Hop Summit, the first one kicking off this weekend. Russell, welcome.
Thank you.
So what are these financial empowerment summits about? You've been doing summits for several years. What's this one about, though?
Well, for the last 4 or 5 years, we've been doing them, and over the last 3 years, the subject has been financial literacy. The problem in our communities that we don't teach financial literacy in schools, and so some communities it becomes this whole cycle of people being locked out of our system, or maybe making some choices that were simple, different choices will change their lives. And so to get to them early, and to give them, empower them, and with the kind of knowledge, simple knowledge that sometimes they don't get.
And that's what's interesting. It's often basic knowledge, correct?
Yeah, people don't know their FICO score.
Yeah.
They just don't know their
credit scores.
They don't know their credit scores, and they need this basic information, how to operate, from. And then, sometimes when we're talking to thousands of kids and we have these artists who come to the summits, then these artists remind them, that their priorities and that toys that are sold to them on television are not always the most important choices early on. So I think it really has been, for me, very fulfilling. We must have done 50 of these summits already.
I'm curious what people say who come to these summits. What do they say? Like, I had no idea. I mean, and what are you talking about, what, 18, 19, 20-year-olds?
Yeah, it's, all the way up to 30. They're people, young people go to school, college, and they get their credit cards, and they get their lives twisted up, and then they're stuck until their late 30s, trying to fix it, put themselves in a better relationship with the financial world.
Well, I'm curious, you talk about that, the financial crisis that we've lived through over the last year. Has that made people more interested in understanding what's going on?
Yeah.
Or do they feel more taken by the Wall Street community and the investment community?
Well, I think that, each person has to take responsibility. The summit's theme, since its inception, was for young people to take back responsibility. And so every artist you can imagine, from Jay-Z to Eminem to anyone, has been a part of the summit. They've traveled with us and spoken to young people about this subject, financial literacy, and about empowerment in general. Even some summits have been on the subject of voting and empowering yourself through being connected. Right.
If anything we learned over the last year is that that everybody was impacted by this crisis. Even if you weren't maybe directly linked with a financial firm, you were impacted.
Yeah. About 4 years ago, I started a financial service company for underserved communities. And Walmart has started one more recently as well, the underbanked and underserved communities. And there's so many things that they need. And as I looked into it, I saw that there's 60 or 70 million Americans don't even have bank accounts.
Right, pretty shocking.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking. So we've created, ways out. But, rebuilding credit is a subject that needs to be discussed. And some people just feel locked out and they don't know that there's a way out. And so giving this kind of help and support. If you go to hsan.org, then you can download a booklet that we give away. It's pretty simple information.
We'll do that. Great, good to know, and good information. Russell, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Russell